Welcome back to GearWire.com. I'm Owen O'Malley. We're going to be checking out the Roland SPD-30 Octapad. The SPD-30 is the latest in the line of SPD pad triggers from Roland. The previous Octapad was called the SPD-20. The SPD-30 offers a couple of sort of significant additions, improvements over the SPD-20. For starters, there's new pad triggers that are pulled from the latest generation V-drums. There's also the ability to turn the SPD-30 into a sort of standalone practice kit because you can plug in external triggers, kick drum, hi-hat, snare triggers from the V-drum series. You can also plug in Roland momentary foot switches to switch between kits and perform other functions. There's also this big LCD screen, and it's sort of a graphical user interface. It makes it much easier to access system parameters, edit different kits, edit effects, do lots of other things. And finally, you probably noticed this blinking phrase loop icon right here. There is a phrase looper built into this thing. So the SPD-30 is more so than any other SPD, a standalone sort of performance instrument. Being that the phrase loop is kind of like maybe the thing that transforms this the most from the SPD-20, that's what we're going to sort of focus on in this video. But first, let's just take a listen to some of the different kits that we have in here. The kits basically fall under a few different categories. We've got your sort of basic drum kits, and right now we're at groove and drums, and this has an intense compressor sort of over the entire kit. But here's your basic drum kit. We've got percussion kits. This is a Cuban kit. Then we've got some tuned kits. This is called hang phone. And then you've got some classic electronic kits like the 808. Sweet. So picking kits from these different categories, I'm going to build a neat little layered groove that I can then improvise over. So now the first thing we want to do is hold down standby, and you see now we've got our phrase loop setup menu as we hold standby down. Here you can select the number of measures, or how many measures long your phrase is going to be, and also the beat. This is going to be in 3, so I'm going to tap this pad here, and now I've got 3. I also want this metronome to be playing the first time through the phrase while I record, sort of like lay down my bed phrase. Let go of that. Now you can see here we've got our tempo input already. You can either tap that tempo or dial it in with the rotary encoder. We've also got 12th notes quantized because I'm going to be playing triplets over 3. And you select different quantized values with this rotary encoder. You see we've got a flashing hit pad to start message going on here. That means as soon as I hit the first pad, it's going to begin recording my loop. So here I go. So now, if we want to improvise over that, we hit play, and that's basically unarming or disarming, sort of like putting on the safety. But if we do have something we want to add to this phrase while it's playing, we just switch back over to record, and now it's triggered. Now I don't like that little one that I put over there, so what I'm going to do while it's playing here is hold down erase and tap this. So now that's gone. And I'm going to replace it with another one of those hits. Okay, so I kind of like what's going on here. This is a nice little thing to improvise over. So I want to keep this going, and I'm going to switch to part 2. And I'm going to switch to a tuned kit. Right now, here we've got lithophone is in the next bank back. And this is a tuned kit. Let's layer another rhythm track on top of this, and we're going to play around with some other functions here. Let's find something that sounds different. Let's go back to those groove drums. Don't know what I'm going to do here yet. Let's see. That's something. I didn't like that last one, so I'm going to erase it. Cool. Now let's go to part 3 and find a different tuned kit. Okay, now let's record something. So that's really lame, but it'll serve our purposes. So now let's go back to our quick menu here. And one of our choices here is part level. Okay. Now you can see we've got a little 3-channel mixer going on here. Okay, let's stop this for now. So there you go. You can sort of play around with the mix levels here. You get a little flexibility after you've recorded these 3 phrases. You can also do things like record mutes on individual tracks. You can record effects parameter automation too. So you can see how the SPD-30 can really be sort of like the centerpiece, sort of a solo performance instrument. Once you record those phrases, you can plug in a USB key and save the phrase information for easy recall later. So some pretty major upgrades from the SPD-20 to the SPD-30. There's a lot you can do with this kit. That was just sort of a real quick overview of what you can do with the loop phrase functions. You've been watching GearWire.com, and I'm Owen O'Malley. Thanks for checking us out.